Hello, and welcome to The Beginner's Guide, a comprehensive tutorial.
No, it isn't. Don't lie.
A comprehensive tutorial
Just gonna be playing it.
on game building and
Have you played this before?
I haven't actually played this before, to be honest.
What
Oh. Okay. I don't know what we're about to play. Oh, here's Stacy. Hey, Stacy.
whispering?
I was just whispering. Don't worry about it.
Did you have the voice recorder on?
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Oh no.
And welcome to Purple Eyes. Today we're playing the Beginner's Guide, which is a game created by the same creators of the Stanley Parable. So I'm excited. Very excited.
I have no idea what we're getting into.
Alright, let's begin the game.
Let's do
Beginner's Guide. Begin the Beginner's Guide.
Okay. Make sure audio is on.
Believe
I think
it's
it's on.
very on.
Yeah. I hear birds.
And make sure to listen to, let the narration be heard.
Yeah.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Wow. Okay.
This is really cool, actually.
This is really cool. Way different. Oh my gosh.
Whisper machine.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
This looks really good, actually, for being.
You can click to fire the gun.
Security call reached. Hostile airline call inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Wow.
He's a really good game creator. Like, if you went a little bit farther, he could make some really, really good games.
Apparently the space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Thank you.
If you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
No, I'm good.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
I mean, there's nothing else you can do.
No. Psych. All right, fine.
This is really cool. I like it. You can.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
No. Oh!
You can see the solving thing.
Wow.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Wow.
This is the same month.
Okay, this is
I think
spooky.
this one,
Wait, what's
this one
right
is
behind
my
you?
favorite.
The past was behind her.
Or maybe it's the next one.
Oh yeah, you've seen this game, haven't you?
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Oh, that's really cool.
That is so cool. What?
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Ah! This is so
I
cool.
see so much. Wait, when did the Stanley Parable come out? This seems like So a lot of stuff could have come.
When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer.
Was this the inspiration for Stanley Parable?
No.
Well, the narrator said that looking at these games kind of inspired him to do interesting things with his later work.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, this reminds me a lot of Stanley Parable.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
That is amazing. Oh no. Please no. Whoa. Those are realistic. I don't want to do that. Oh, I don't want that. Oh, you can only move in a straight line.
Imagine having to walk backwards.
You are
in
now
this.
entering.
This is amazing.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting. Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Ooh.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Jump.
Nonsense in every direction. What an interesting game title.
It's like you feel like something's gonna happen after playing all our scary games.
Yeah.
It's actually really relaxing. Wait, we're going slower?
We're going slower.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Are we gonna keep going and crawl, or are you gonna let us go?
Keep going. See what
I
happens.
want to keep going.
Oh, he might respond.
Yep.
One reason why I really like this guy is because he adds extra monologue.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it really interesting.
He's telling a story.
I'll just make this screen spin right now and make it less boring.
Yeah, make it spin. Whoa, visual effect. Oh, see that flying across the screen? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, you see that?
What an exciting stair climb.
Come on. Almost there.
One.
Good snail.
Come on. We're here. Let us in. Oh. Oh my. Is it a hallway? What? Oh, no, I see. Okay.
Looks like a table or something. Can't tell.
Come on.
So determined. We just pressed enter.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this is very cool.
This is really cool. It's so weird to see us go so slow through here. What?
What is this?
Come on, give us that sweet, sweet narration.
We're in the room.
We are officially in.
Can't tell what those are. You can walk through the walls.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Oh.
Oh.
Standing on an X staring at a bear for 3 hours.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person. but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Press U to surrender. I want to see a game that combines all these.
No achievement.
No achievement. Okay.
Ready, set, fished? Is that what it's called?
Which I kind
I
of like.
think this is my favorite one. We will see if it's the one I'm thinking.
I wonder how Stanley met this
Whoa.
guy. I'm just gonna call him Stanley because I don't know his actual name.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Oh, you did it. Oh, this is hard.
Got it.
Does it open it up or no? Ah. Oh.
What?
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Weren't those dots in the spaceship level?
It might have been.
I don't know.
Wouldn't it surprise me? It's cool seeing this because I can like imagine all the
So that
things
seems to
it
be it,
had.
right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
What?
I'm pressing enter. What?
Wait. Why is there so much?
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
I was just thinking of everything you could add inside that room.
Yeah.
But there's so much out of it. Oh, we're coming back there?
Guess so.
Aha! So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.